Okay, well, thank you very much. Ito po, si Nico Fabian. Nandito na lang po sa programa natin na Nico, The Real Talk with Nico. And of course, mayroon tayong mga latest mga balita tungkol, hindi lang tungkol sa Pilipinas, but also tungkol din po ang mga Filipinos dyan po sa Malaysia. Sabah is Malaysia, or dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu. And blessed Sunday to each and every one of us. And today is May 17, no? May 17 na tayo. Kumusta kayo? Ang mga Filipinos dyan po sa Malaysia, ang mga overseas Filipinos, mga Filipinos sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, ang mga Filipino migrants sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo din, and of course, ang mga kaibigan, kababayan at kapatid natin po dyan mismo o dito mismo pala sa Pilipinas, dahil nandito ako ngayon po sa Pilipinas. To be specific, nandito ako ngayon sa Boracay, no? Sa Boracay. Medyo I am a little bit busy for the past few days dahil we are attending itong or I am attending itong General Assembly ng Alpha Phi Omega. It's an international fraternity, sorority po, no? So, ang dami din, just to inform you, sa mga members ng Alpha Phi Omega, just to inform you, na very successful ang event ng Alpha Phi Omega dito po sa Boracay. Ang dami po nag-attend, not only members of the Alpha Phi Omega from different chapters dito po sa Pilipinas, but also members of the Alpha Phi Omega from different countries po, that even includes ang America, and other countries, foreign countries po, na dumating sila dito to attend ang General Assembly. And for your information, especially ang mga brothers and sisters ko po dito sa fraternity namin, which we call Alpha Phi Omega, or for short, it is APO, na wala tayong, this year, wala tayong election, no? Election of office bearers, and it will be held, ang election will be held next year pa. But we participated ngayon po ang ating, sabihin natin, General Assembly. Very successful po, very successful. Ang daming mga members na nandito ngayon sa, sabihin natin, sa Boracay. I don't know kung mayroon ba tayo dito, ano ba ito, footage, no? Portion of the, kung, okay, sandali bang po, no? Portion of the event, no? Kahapon po, no, ang plenary assembly dyan po sa, or dito po sa Boracay. Let's watch and listen to this po, no? Okay, sandali po. Alright, sandali. Ito po, I'll try to see if I can make it, okay, wala tayong next stand, but anyway, let's watch and listen to this po.
Next will be the entry of the National Executive Council
yun po ay portion of the, sabi natin po, ang event, no? Yesterday ito po nangyari, and today is the last day, and we have maraming mga events, fellowship night, Apo night, and all these things po, and enjoy na enjoy ang mga participants po, no? I don't know if I can share with you ito.
Sila kami. Magantay lang kayo.
Alright, yun po. Nakita natin ang portion of the event. It started 15 po ng May, and today is the last day po. No? Today is the last day. So to all the participants, I would like to extend my congratulatory greetings to all the members of the Alpha Phi Omega, as well as mga organizers ng event natin po for this year, ang General Assembly. And of course, nakita natin ang mga brothers and sisters natin, they brought their better half, mga wife and husband who are not members po, but they attended also ang very, sabihin natin, historical event ng Alpha Phi Omega every year po. The election is scheduled on or next year, and that will be in Palawan, no? In Palawan po. Wala pa tayong date kung kailan talaga ang election ng Alpha Phi Omega next year. But anyway, kung mayroon tayong mga, sabihin natin, updates po, no? Ang Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, being a member of the Alpha Phi Omega, I'll make sure that dito sa programa ko po, I'll make sure that mga members will be also informed. I will pass the message kung kailan talaga ang election natin dito sa Pilipinas, scheduled by next year. Alright? So, yun po. That's one thing that I want to share with you, or sa mga, sabihin natin, followers dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico today. And the other thing that I want to share with you po, ngayon na po, no, mga relatives natin who is working, residing legally sa Malaysia, particularly sa Sabah, and very important po, no, anong mga latest updates natin tungkol ang mga illegal Filipinos dyan po sa Sabah, no, sa Sabah, especially those delayed na po ang repatriation or deportation nila po. Kawawa naman po dahil wala tayong transportation, and just recently nakumpisa na po ang ferry route from Lahadatu, Sabah to Bonggao, Tawi-Tawi po. Itong ang latest natin po as of Wednesday, it was reported by the Sabah Immigration Department, no, that a total of 285 undocumented Filipinos were deported last Wednesday po from Lahadatu para sa Bonggao Port, no? Last Wednesday ito. And ang breakdown ng mga deportees po, mayroon tayo a total of 88 male o lalaki po, 82 babae o female, 60 boys and 55 girls, age between 8 to 77 years old. The children were accompanied by their parents or respective escorts po. They were also issued both from the Philippine Embassy, dyan po sa Kuala Lumpur. They were issued with this travel document po, yellow paper. They were issued to confirm that these are genuine Filipinos po, caught and arrested and detained temporarily sa mga deportation centers dyan po sa Sabah. And itong mga deportees who left or returned home last Wednesday po, they are detainees dyan po sa Sandakan and Lahadatu Detention Center. Marami pa rin po, no? Mga detainees in Kota Kinabalu City and Papar, no? And I don't know kung kailan tayo, but the only road that we have or exit point for the deportees po, at the moment, isa lang po, and that is Lahadatu to Bonggao. Before, mayroon tayo Sandakan to Zamboanga City. And yung ferry po, Allison Shipping Line, MV Allison Shipping Ferry, now it can accommodate up to 800 deportees, no? But suspended ngayon ang operation ng Allison Shipping Line, so wala tayong biyahe from Zamboanga to Sandakan and vice versa. Kaya nga po, mga deportees, dyan na po ngayon sa Lahada to Bonggao. Alright? So yun, that is the thing that I also want to pass sa inyo po, sa mga viewers ko po dito sa Nico, The Real Talk with Nico. So ngayon, punta naman tayo po sa mga notisya dito sa Pilipinas, no? Tungkol sa politika. Itong issue natin sa politika po. And I suppose, ang dami, no? I suppose maraming Filipinos, we want to know kung ano talaga ang mga latest developments natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. So, what I'm going to do now is hanap tayo, no? Hanap tayo saan na yun mga balita tungkol ang news sa may magandang mga news tayo dito po. Medyo nakakaiyak, nakakainis ang mga sitwasyon dyan po sa Pilipinas. Sandali po, I will try to get this video clip. I hope mayroon tayo dito po ang video clip tungkol, sandali po, si Alan Peter Cayetano yata yun po, no? I will try to get kung sandali po, I will try to get, kasi it was confirmed by Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, who is now the Senate President, newly elected Senate President po, no? And sabi niya, by Monday, tomorrow po, mag-convene na po ang impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, no? Kasi maraming mga rumors, they were saying na itong bagong Senate leadership, no? Change of Senate leadership spearheaded now by Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. Sabi nila po, mga rumors na they will not push through ang impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. They will not push through. But it was guaranteed by Senate President na tuloy po. In fact, bukas po, they start ang proseso sa impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. So, hindi yung totoo po. Hindi yung totoo.
Ulitin ko po, hindi po magulo ang Senado.
Okay.
Gulo po ang Senado.
And, mayroon tayo dito po ang video clip. I'll try to see. Okay, let's watch and listen itong statement ni Senate President Peter Alan Cayetano, dahil po ang mga tao, they were saying, magulo ang Senado. And ito po, let's listen to this statement of Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano.
Sa lahat.
Sandali po.
And the whole truth.
Alo na.
Half truth, hindi pa rin po truth yun. So let me narrate the facts to you and let me tell you the truth. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. First truth, hindi po magulo ang Senado. Ulitin ko po, hindi po magulo ang Senado, ginugulo po ang Senado. Iba po yung magulo, iba po yung ginugulo. So it has been confirmed, mismo pong yung Sergeant at Arms na inappoint ni Senator Soto, former Senate President, at mismong ang NBI Director ang nag-confirm na nung Lunes ay pinayagan yung NBI sa loob ng Senado para po arestuhin si Senator Bato. Makikita nyo ang intensyon din po ay wag po siyang pabotohin. Yung po ang intensyon. Kung ang intensyon lang po ay arestuhin siya, pwedeng mahinahon na umakyat sa session hall, magpaalam at saka iserve ang warrant. So fact number 1, katotohanan number 1, nakakalat yung mga NBI sa Senado noong Monday para pigilan si Senator Bato na bumoto. Fact number 2, masasabi ko na pong fact to ngayon kasi po nagawa na namin. Fact number 2, hindi totoo po ang propaganda ng dating majority, ngayon ng minority, yung propaganda po ng mga dean of the law schools, and I'm asking these deans to issue an apology. Naniwala po sila sa propaganda. Let me correct myself, ha? Naniwala sila sa propaganda. Yung propaganda is that the new majority is here to stop the impeachment. We received the impeachment sa gitna ng kaguluhan Wednesday night. I signed the letter yesterday, sent it to the House of Representatives, na-receive na po nila at nakalagay sa sulat na ayon po sa rules ng Senado kasama sa order of business sa Monday, and kung walang magque-question ng rules at sa aming caucus nag-agree walang magque-question ng rules, ng impeachment rules sa hanay po ng majority o sa amin pong 13, therefore we can already convene as an impeachment court on Monday. So lahat po ng kinakalat nila na ito po'y lahat na nagaganap para protektahan lang po ang isang tao ay hindi katotohanan. Hindi po kami magko-convict dahil lang po sa politika. Hindi rin po kami mag-aakwit dahil sa politika. Impartial impeachment trial ang nasa konstitusyon, yun po ang balak naming gawin. So truth number 1, NBI ang lumusog at pumasok sa Senado at nakipaghabulan sa isang senador kahit pwedeng hintayin na lang sa session hall or sa office of the President. Fact number 2, ginugulo nila kasi nasira yung kanilang narrative. So fact number 2, pwede nang mag-umpisa sa Monday ang impeachment trial. Ako nga'y medyo nababahala kasi baka gamitin yung issue na to para maraming magsalita sa Monday. Tapos sa amin ibabalandra kung bakit may delay sa impeachment. Fact number 3, kinausap, inimbita ko sa opisina ko, sabi ko pwede pa siya magsama, pero pinili niyang mag-isang pumunta sa office. We had a number of senators there, and sinabi po ni NBI Director, he will follow the Senate and he will not arrest sa loob ng Senado. We told him to submit the warrant para makita namin. Sabi niya nung Lunes, Tuesday niya isasubmit kasama ang sulat. Pinayagan namin iuwi niya yung 10 operatiba niya, agents niya, with the condition na ibibigay niya yung spot report. Hanggang kahapon po, hindi binibigay. Ang alam ko hanggang today, hindi binibigay. Pangatlo po, sabi niya, hindi siya kikilos, hindi niya pakikilusin ng NBI nang walang coordination sa amin. Wednesday morning pa lang po, may reports na po kami na naglalabas-pasok po ang mga NBI agents. Naka-alert na po kami ng Wednesday. Pagdating po ng hapon ng Wednesday, paulit-ulit sinasabi po sa akin na meron pong NBI agents na naka-full tactical gear. Ibig sabihin po, naka-uniforme, may vest, may mahabang armas na nasa GSIS. Nagbigay ng contact person si NBI Director Magibag. Tinawagan namin yon at sinabi niya, pinapaabot ni Director, walang NBI sa Senate, walang NBI sa GSIS. Nung hapon, umakyat sa akin si General Mau at nagsabi po sa akin na may nangyayari sa mga pinto at yung GSIS ay nagsasara ng mga pinto at nagsasabing kahit senador po ang dadaan doon ay kailangan inspeksyonin. Sabi ko kay General Mau, paki-anyaya sa head ng GSIS, administrator yung nagamit niya noon, I think he meant GM. Sabi ko, I'm willing to talk to him very calmly, please call him. The next thing I knew, meron na daw mga armado doon, I asked them to call NBI ulit. Sinabi na naman nila na wala. Samantalang kitang-kita na ng mga nakasuot ng NBI. The next thing we knew, may mga putukan na at akala po namin yan ay mga fireworks. Nagpuputukan na pala po sa baba. Still, they were denying that NBI yon. Kahit na yung mismong winardingan nila ay nagsabing NBI sila. So please look at the context. Alam natin under siege nung Monday or nasa loob ng Senado ang mga NBI. Alam po natin na nakipaghabulan sila. Gina-justify pa dahil ito daw po ang paraan na mag-arrest. Pagkatapos pinangako sa amin na wala daw pong NBI sa paligiran. Nandun na po Marines, nandun po PNP, libo po ang PNP sa labas, naging very transparent kami. Nakiusap kami na walang baril sa loob ng Senado. Tingnan nyo po lahat ng video. So nung nangyari na po yun at hindi na po namin alam kung sino kakausapin dahil nagkaibitan na sa loob ng kwarto ang bawat isa, ginamit natin Facebook. Ang sumagot po ay si Secretary ng Interior na si John Vic Remulla. Dumating siya, sabi niya, please allow the police inside. Nag-usap kami, sinabi niya, secure kagad, I'll be there in 10 minutes, secure the CCTV. Agad kong sinabi, as soon as nakaakyat na po si Sergeant at Arms Mao, sabi ko, secure the CCTV room, huwag niyong gagalawin. Pagdating ng mga police, make sure you have 2 copies, isa sa kanila, isa sa amin, para hindi po matamper. Yun din po pinag-uusapan ng ibang senador sa loob ng room. So nung sinabi po ni Jinggoy na itago, ang ibig niya sabihin, make sure walang makakuha kung hindi po yung police. At sinagot siya nun, kung tinuloy yung video na yon, may sumagot na nakasecure na po. As soon as Secretary Remulla came, the first thing he did was kamustahin kung okay kami, kung secured yung mga senador. Then tinanong yung CCTV and then nagpaalam kung pwede i-sweep floor by floor at pumasok yung iba pang police. Technically, I could have said it was under Senate jurisdiction. But he gave me his word and he followed his word that this will be a investigation that is independent. So dalawa po, joint investigation to. Lahat po ng CCTV agad binigay. Pangalawa po, lahat ng crime scene hindi po namin tinago. In fact, sa GSIS hindi kami makapasok, pulis lang. Kaya bago umuwi si Secretary Remulla at si Chief PNP Nartates, hiningi ko na makapasok din po. Kasi nung una, inilalabas ang narrative ng iba na wala daw putok from the other side. Nung una, isa pa...
Alright, narinig natin yun po, si Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano po, no? Yun ang sitwasyon. And a lot of people are wondering, bakit si NBI Director Melvin Matibag, no? What is happening to him, no? What is happening? He promised that he will give a copy of the warrant of arrest last Tuesday po, but hindi nangyari yun po. And he denied na may agent sa loob ng Senate building or premises po. Sabi niya, wala kasi they are attending a meeting. In fact, he told sa media when he was interviewed that he also informed President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., si BBM po, na no such thing as by agent sa loob ng Senado po that time, Monday, no? So ngayon lumalabas parang something is wrong ang statement ni attorney or director of the National Bureau of Investigation, si attorney Melvin Matibag po, no? But anyway, let's see what will happen, and I will continue to follow up ang mga updates, no? Ang mga updates regarding itong issue po, no? So lahat ang mga followers natin po, you will be properly informed po, no? You will know so that you will not get blamed on what is really happening dyan po sa Senado po. So mayroon tayo dito, I try to see ito po, no? I just want to read you an article, lumabas na po sa national media dito po sa Manila, and the heading of the news article is Office of the Secretary General as Supreme Court to deny Bato de la Rosa's plea versus ICC arrest warrant po, no? Okay, let me read you this news article. The Office of the Solicitor General or OSG on Friday asked the Supreme Court or SC to deny the plea of Senator Rolando Bato de la Rosa in connection with the International Criminal Court arrest warrant issued against him. In its 83-page GR number 278747, the OSG asked the Supreme Court to deny De La Rosa's urgent manifestation with omnibus motion and extremely urgent supplemental manifestation with motion due to alleged lack of merit. Okay? And due to lack of merits. Right? So, Senator De La Rosa is not entitled to an injunction writ to enjoy his arrest and surrender to ICC, the OCG stated, citing the following arguments. Nagtaka lang tayo po, no? Nagtaka lang tayo, no? Nagtaka lang tayo. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. You see, Senator Bato de la Rosa is a bona fide Filipino po. Bona fide Filipino. Yan. My arrest warrant, okay? Let's put it, my arrest warrant coming from the ICC. And ang gobyerno ngayon po, they want to respect ang arrest warrant and serve the arrest warrant kay Senator Bato de la Rosa. See? So, kasi although we are no longer part of the itong statue, no? So, respeto, like what happened kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po. And many are saying that the action taken by the government to surrender Tatay Digong sa ICC po has violated human rights ni Tatay Digong, no? And it should have passed, respected ang local court natin po, no? Dapat ang local court natin po will issue the arrest warrant to anybody, no? Mayroon issuance of arrest warrant coming from ICC. Pero hindi yun nangyari kay Tatay Digong. And now it comes kay Senator Bato de la Rosa po. Yun ang problema ngayon po, no? Dapat, it has ang arrest warrant coming from the ICC must be given to the Supreme Court, to the local court, and the local court, after validating, scrutinizing ang arrest warrant, or arrest warrant, then if they said that there is a reason, now they will issue the arrest warrant, the local arrest warrant coming from the local court. Correct me if I'm wrong na po, but this is how I understand, based on the explanation given by our senators and other those with knowledge on our local laws, our constitution po, no? So yon. And ngayon si Senator De La Rosa nowhere to be found. Ibig sabihin nagtago na po. The only thing, ako at saka some many Filipinos dyan po sa Sabah, just wondering, no? The same thing, they issued a warrant of arrest sa Amerika po, presidente ng Amerika. They issued warrant of arrest sa Russia, ha? Sa presidente ng Russia. They issued warrant of arrest dyan po sa Israel. And itong mga nation po, leaders of these nations, they totally ignore. In fact, ang Russia na, what they did is, they also issued warrant of arrest against members of the ICC. Huh? Members of the ICC. They will never hand over ang citizen nila po sa ICC. Simple, very simple as that po. No? And ICC cannot do anything. ICC cannot do anything po. Dito naman sa Pilipinas po, bakit? Siguro kung foreigner ito si Senator Bato de la Rosa po, maybe may rason tayo po, no? But he is a blue-blooded Filipino. And he was voted ang candidacy niya by no less than 20 million votes he garnered during the election po. And then now, easily, ang gobyerno would like to surrender him to ICC against crime, against humanity po, no? Pero mayroon tayo existing operational course natin dito po. Bakit? Mas gusto pa natin, ang gobyerno ngayon natin po, correct me if I'm wrong, gusto pa ang gobyerno natin ngayon po, i-surrender ang kapwang Filipino kaysa to protect them, no? O to protect itong tao, kapwang Filipino po. Gusto nila show respect to ICC rather than protecting ang kapwang Filipino po. Do you think there is something wrong here? Do you think there is something wrong here? And then, mayroon tayong mga issue. Another issue that I want to touch on before I will conclude. No? So, wind up muna tayo itong issue. So, what do you think po? Is it right for the government, incumbent or the present government, to push through to surrender Senator Bato de la Rosa to ICC, or hindi dapat? Hindi dapat po. Kasi may existing operational ang mga korte natin dito po sa Pilipinas. And beside, he is a bona fide Filipino and he deserve protection coming from our own government po, the Philippine government. Kaya nga, if you remember, he himself, De La Rosa, the other day po, he himself was asking or pleading or urging BBM to protect him. To protect him po. Pero mas gusto pa siguro ang gobyerno ngayon po to protect ang ICC instead of protecting ang fellow kababayan who garnered more than 20, mayroon siyang support of more than 20 million Filipinos po. So, I don't know. What do you think? Is there something wrong there po? Kayo na bahala po. You think about it. And I hope I'm wrong the way how I understand the situation po. But kung sakali, totoo po, the way how I look at it po, sana lang po ang gobyerno natin po will change ang stand nila ngayon po against Senator Bato de la Rosa. That's how I look at it po. And several Filipinos dyan po sa Sabah, particularly dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu City. Okay, the other thing, before I will conclude, the other thing I want to touch now is tungkol itong mga rumors may kudeta na naman. No? Bago lang change of leadership sa Senate. And now, ang Senate President is Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. And medyo hindi masaya siguro ang minority bloc under the leadership of former Senate President si Tito Sen or Vicente Soto po. We narinig natin both sa legit media outlets dyan po sa Pilipinas as well as sa social media. Mayroon ng mga istorya that ang minority bloc under the leadership of Tito Sen is trying to convince some of the 13 members of the minority or majority bloc under the leadership of Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano to ibaliktad po, balik sila kay Soto so that Soto will be again reinstated as a Senate President po. Yan po. But based on the news and social media posting, we look at the situation parang solid ang 13 majority members ngayon po dyan sa Senado. Mahirapan sila po, no? Mahirapan. At the moment, the minority, they have 9. And mayroon nag-abstain sa votation po. And yung dalawa po is Senator J.B. Ejercito and si Senator Mix Zubiri. So, if itong dalawang senador who abstained during the voting to impeach Tito Sen, they will jump to the opposition. So 9 plus 2 is 9, 10, 11 na po. No? Kailangan sila ng 30 votes. So, kailangan po ng dalawa. Ha? Kailangan po ng dalawa for them to get the magic 13 votes. So, kaya ba yun sila? Kaya ba yun sila? Kuha yun. Convince sa 13 magic 13 ng majority block ngayon po under the leadership of Alan Peter Cayetano. Sino kaya mag-jump po? No? So, itong dalawa, si Ejercito and Subiri, there is also a possibility, pwede din sila mag-jump doon sa majority. Posible din yun po, no? Posible din yun. But for me, if you talk about itong dalawang senador, si Ejercito, sa palagay ko po, there is a big possibility he will join. Ha? If he decide, there is a possibility he will choose to join the majority dyan po sa kampo ni Cayetano. Why? Because one of the reason is, nandyan po si ang half-brother niya po, si Senator Jigo Estrada. Ha? Si Subiri, I'm not sure, 50-50 ako po. Ha? Kay Senator Subiri. 50-50. And I was also made to understand na ang majority block also, dahil narinig nila, si grupo ni Tito Sen is trying to convince some members of the majority block to jump back sa kanila po. So what the majority group is doing also is talking to some senators also to reduce ang 9 members ng minority. So sino kaya po, no? Possible will change his stand dito lapit? Posible ba? Si Senator Win Gatchalian, I think it is also possible. Tatlo daw yun po, no? From the minority bloc, there is a possibility they are going to jump to the majority bloc kay Cayetano. So kung sakali mayroon tatlo, so 16 na yun po, no? 16 na yun. So dito lapit, Senator Win Gatchalian at saka si Ejercito. So tatlo yun po. So, kung ganun ang ano po, they have 13 plus another 316, mahirap na po ang event sa impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte po. So, yun ang sitwasyon natin ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. But don't worry, I'm going to continue to monitor ang sitwasyon po dito sa Manila habang nandito ako po. Kung ano man, whatever updates mayroon tayo po, I will make sure na tayong lahat po dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, I'll make sure that you will be properly informed. You will be properly informed. So far, today, Sunday, medyo wala yatang maraming balita tayo po. Sunday ngayon, resting day natin, and tomorrow is another day na kailangan ako po and mga media dito sa Pilipinas po will be again very busy following up, monitoring ang mga updates tungkol sa political scenario dito po sa Pilipinas. So siguro hanggang dito na lang muna tayo, no? Ang things that I would like to share with you po ang notisya, both news coming from Malaysia, Sabah, and also dito po sa Pilipinas. I hope maski paano I managed to entertain sa inyong lahat po during the past few minutes po. And don't worry, I will continue to monitor and keep you updated. So, with this, once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day-to-day. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye, and I love you. You take care.